Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. In today's episode, I am going to share with you the real root cause of people pleasing. I'm going to share with you how it shows up in your body, your relationships, your business, and your bank account, why it leads to burnout, and why it becomes the glass ceiling in your income and impact. People pleasing is so common, particularly amongst heart-led humans, service-based women, and the line between being kind and people pleasing starts to become blurry. But I want you to be prosperous, and that means being rich in every area of your life. Rich in fulfillment, in magic, in money, in love, in affection, all of it at the same time. So creating money can't come at the cost of your own energy. Serving your family can't come at the cost of your soul mission. Looking after yourself and your clients can't be at odds with each other. So I'm going to start with sharing what people pleasing is not, because sometimes this gets a little bit confused. Most people think that people pleasing is some kind of boundary issue, that you have trouble setting boundaries, you have trouble saying no, you don't like to let people down. And that is true, but that is just surface level. Then some people believe that people pleasing is an abandonment issue, and it is. We give others what we think they need because we think we'll get back more love or acceptance, or we'll be safer, or we'll get more affection or attention or intimacy. And that is the next level. But the divine level goes all the way back to the root. So before we go there, let's just address some of the common themes quickly that come up around people pleasing and why they don't actually collapse this loop, because people pleasing is a survival loop. The first thing is people say, just set better boundaries. Setting boundaries and actually holding those boundaries are two different energies. They're two separate energies, two separate skill sets even. So it's not as easy as just setting boundaries. I used to promise myself, I used to create a gap in my day, and I used to promise myself that I was going to keep that break no matter what. Did I? No, because the moment somebody needed something from me, I just did it. I wasn't able to maintain that break that I had created for myself. Then the second thing is people go, oh, you just need to toughen up. You're too soft. But this requires energy. If it is not coming natural to you, if you have to steel yourself in any way, if it feels uncomfortable, then it's an effort and you have to force yourself. And that's not the vibe either. Those are actually two signs from your energy bodies that this is not clear. The other thing that people say is just choose yourself. It doesn't matter if you let someone down. Now, you can make yourself choose yourself, but if it doesn't feel good, then you end up feeling guilty about it. So you may have chosen yourself, but the time and energy that you then waste feeling bad about what you did, that just doesn't, that's not the vibe either. So let's dive into the root cause. People pleasing happens when your need to give goes beyond just your desire to help. The root cause of this is actually codependency. Now, that word was put in my field for years. I have a deck of cards with the codependency card in it. I used to pull that card all the time. I used to look at this guy going, I don't know what you're telling me. I don't know what you're telling me. But I used to get that card all the time. And the reason I never picked up that word and the reason I never looked into it before was because I'm an independent woman. I am capable. I am strong. I do things on my own. I didn't rely on anybody. So how on earth could I be codependent? I wasn't needy. I wasn't fragile. I wasn't vulnerable, which is what I thought codependency was. That's what it sounded like to me. Like you need someone else to make you feel okay. And that wasn't me. And that is why it took me so long to figure this out. And that is why I'm sharing it with you now. Codependency really means that your body wants to keep the status quo no matter what. It doesn't matter how dysfunctional, how uncomfortable, or how much you have to abandon yourself or what you need, your body needs you to keep the status quo. So this loop is created when you are developing your boundaries, your sense of self, your self-image, your identity. You learn how to know yourself relative to other people. And in this case, you only know yourself relative to other people. And that is why this sets off a primal nervous system response. Because not giving others what you believe they need threatens your survival. It threatens your existence because you do not yet know who you are as your own entity. So as a child, if your needs were not met, if your identity wasn't met or acknowledged or satisfactorily met or acknowledged for you, so it may have been acknowledged, but not satisfactorily for you at that time. And you were only given approval, acceptance, love, affection when you supported the needs of others, then your body believes it only exists in relation to others. And that is why this is one of the 4 biggest survival loops that women rewrite on their way to not only becoming prosperous, but becoming divine. Because to become divine, you must excavate and heal and clear and rewrite everything that is not you, so that you can meet your true, authentic self. Your true essence, the part of you that has been there all along, that never changes, that is innocent, holy, and pure. So let me break this down in another example so it can really solidify it for you. Think about a dolphin who uses sonar to navigate and explore their environment. So it's called echolocation. They send out a pulse that bounces off the objects and the environment that they're in and allows them to detect the size and the shape and the distance of the obstacle or the prey. That's how they map their environment. And you did the same thing as a child. You sent out pulses, you tried things, you said things, you did things, or you didn't do things. And you created your self-image, your self-identity based on the information that came back to you. So that means if others approved of what you were saying and doing and how you were behaving, then you exist. If others around you are happy, then you exist. But when others are not happy, your sense of self is in danger. So to prevent your own demise, you give yourself away. That is why letting people down feels so bad. That is why saying no feels impossible, why you have trouble setting boundaries, why you have trouble keeping them, why abandoning yourself feels safer. That's why you are unable to settle until everyone else around you is taken care of first. Because your body is protecting you from something it believes will make you non-existent. You are not too soft. You are not too sensitive. You are not weak. You are not needy. You are not too tough. You are not vulnerable. You are not too kind. Your body is literally protecting you from becoming unalive. I just want to stress here, the beliefs that are hiding in your body aren't some cute little programs. They're manifestations in your life. Well, I'll speak for myself. Their manifestations in my life have been devastating at times. That is why it is so important to find out what your body believes and rewrite it, particularly when you are here on a soul-led mission. So you either have never known because you didn't get a chance to experience it, or at this point in your life, you have forgotten what it is like to express your own needs and have them met. When was the last time you had your needs met without having to ask? When was the last time you felt held without having to explain? I actually got that question from a girl off Threads. I wish I'd kept her name, but if you happen to listen to this, thank you. That question is gold. So you become very good at anticipating, at noticing, at doing what you think others need of you, doing what you think they want you to do. And that is what makes you such a great healer, such an open-hearted woman, such a good spiritual entrepreneur, a service-based woman, because you pick up things that other people don't. You're more aware of everyone else's needs, but at the cost of yourself. That is why you sacrifice yourself, your family, and your freedom. That is why being in service costs you your time and your energy in ways that makes you resent your gifts, makes you resent your medicine, makes you resent your message and your wisdom, because it costs you so much. It shows up in your body as either hypermobility or being rigid. My hips were wooden for years. It shows up as menstrual issues. It shows up in your relationships as overgiving. It's okay, I'll do it. I can handle it. It's fine. The number of times I went, it's fine. It shows up as taking it all on yourself and unable to ask for help, even when you're overwhelmed. So this is it's okay, I'll do it. But as you turn to do it, you are muttering under your breath because you cannot ask for help. And now you understand why. It shows up as over-delivering in your work and secretly resenting it. You're often overrunning in your sessions or your calls or your classes, whatever service you provide. It shows up in your bank account as feeling guilty for buying something for yourself, particularly if it's not a necessity, but you still want nice things, but you feel guilty for giving them to yourself. This is the root of burnout. It's not a lack of rest. It's a body that knows how to give, but believes that getting is dangerous. It's a body that believes receiving is a threat to your very existence. You give beyond what is humanly possible until your body can't give anymore and you end up in some kind of health crisis. And that is why taking more breaks or more holidays or just find more things that bring you joy, do more hobbies, it doesn't collapse this loop. And you know that you're here on a soul mission. You care deeply about the world and you know that you are here to help. You want to get your medicine, your gifts, your message into the hands of more people, but how can you when you are so drained? How do you make more money when you're already working all the hours that you can? Your capacity is met, and that is what becomes the glass ceiling of your income and your impact. You end up seeing the same people, doing the same sessions, making the same money as your soul slowly dies. I was there, I know. Being in service was never meant to be a sacrifice. We were never meant to stay small, be humble, grateful for the simple life. It was never meant to overwhelm you. And rewriting this loop changes all of that. So instead of your body being on guard and constantly giving, your guard drops. For some people, it drops quickly. For some people, it's inch by inch by inch. Your body softens. And you realize that you don't die when you allow somebody to help you. And I can tell you that crossing that threshold feels like you might die. You actually just want the earth to swallow you up. I resisted that threshold for so long. I tried every single thing that I could think of rather than cross the threshold and ask for help. But once you do, and you get to the other side and you go, oh, I didn't die and I just got the thing that I asked for. Interesting. And when you do that enough times, you learn to open up more. And the energy that your business is here to channel through you starts to pour out. You become more creative than you've ever been. I used to save loads of notes, just, looking at other people, seeing what was working for them. How could I use that hook and make it fit what I was doing? And it was all in my head. And I've dropped all of that because I know when the message is ready to come through, it will come through. That is why building self-trust is such a huge component of this. Your body will start to show you what is a holy yes, what is a holy no. So you know where those healthy boundaries are, and those boundaries aren't harsh anymore. They're sacred, they come from love. They're actually quite soft and neutral, they're peaceful. You become irresistible. First, you start seeing yourself differently. Then your family, your partner will start to see you differently. Clients will start to see you differently. The world will start to see you differently, and they are attracted to your joy. They are attracted to the frequency of bliss that you found when you made that pilgrimage deeper and deeper into your own body until you found your own divinity, and then life and your business becomes a dance. Being of service becomes beautiful because you are so full of love that holding it back becomes impossible. Your divinity spills into every interaction and every conversation, every piece of content. And you fall in love with the process. You start being present in the process instead of stressing out about the outcomes. And that's when you know that your success is absolute. Whether it's today, tomorrow, next month, doesn't matter, because you know that it is done. And that is true prosperity, rich in love and magic and fulfillment and bliss and opportunities and synchronicities. So the becoming is my next offering. It's a round table for a small group of women because I want it to be intimate. I want us to get to the depth of it. It's for women who want to build something meaningful from their life's work, their sacred work, not through burnout, not through overwhelm, but from surrendering to your destiny, from building a body that can hold your family and your mission without sacrificing yourself. So we'll sit for 4 weeks together talking energetics and visions and blind spots and building the self-courage, the trust, the capacity, and the leadership it takes to move your mission forward. This won't include personalized Akashic record information. That'll be private work. But that's how I got to the root of all these things. I used my energy bodies to find where my beliefs were hiding in my body. And then I went in the Akashic records and I went all the way back to the root. So sometimes you won't know the root yourself if it's a long way back. But then reach out to me and we'll go in the Akashic records and we'll find it for you. So if you're interested in that, DM me on Instagram for details. I'll send them to you. But other than that, I look forward to connecting with you on the next podcast.